Good day, everyone! The role of the speaker is one of the most important aspects in a written work. A speaker allows a more active voice and plays the role of mouthpiece in conveying the ideas of a writer to the audience. And today, we are going to discuss about analyzing the stand of a speaker based on the explicit statement and judge the relevance and worth of ideas, soundness of author's reasoning, and the effectiveness of the presentation. This is Ma'am Lyramae M. Gacili from Villa Concepcion High School, Bacolod Extension, and I will be with you for another episode of Learning. Before we start, get your module, grab your pen and notebook, go to a comfortable place and tune in to Bamboo Telescuela through our media partners DWDYAM 1107 and CMD Cable Channel 1. We are also streaming live at SDO Kawayan Live Facebook page. I hope you are now ready. Last time, you studied about two literary devices which are tone and the mood. Going back, tone refers to an author's use of words and writing style to convey his or her attitude towards a topic. It is often defined as what the author feels about the subject. So, in simpler manner, tone is the viewpoint of the author toward the story events or the characters. It's way feelings are expressed. A mood is a feeling or a person's specific state of mind at any particular time. It is also the prevailing emotion found not only in people but also in literature, music, and other expressive arts. In literature, mood is the feeling created in the reader. This feeling is the result of both the tone and the atmosphere of the story. Following the track of your journey, you are to be guided by these objectives. Identify an explicit and implicit statement. Analyze the stand of the speaker based on the explicit statement made. And judge the relevance and worth of ideas, soundness of author's reasoning, and the effectiveness of the presentation. First, what is an explicit statement? Explicit statement is any statement or information stated clearly in detail, leaving no room for doubt. What exactly does that mean? Let's take a look at this example. Pauline laughed at Lara and said, "Stop your silly work and have fun with me." "No," said Lara. "I am reading and answering my modules. You must do that too." "Right now, I just want to play. We still have a lot of time. Why should I worry now?" laughed Pauline. Based on the explicit statement, I know that Pauline laughed at the end. How do I know that? Well, it says at the end of the statement. So basically, if you can point it in the text, it is explicit information. How about implicit information? To help us out, let's take a look at our example from the story one more time. Pauline laughed at Lara and said, "Stop your silly work and have fun with me." "No," said Lara. "I am reading and answering my modules. You must do that too." "Right now, I just want to play. We still have a lot of time. Why should I worry now?" laughed Pauline. Here, I can say that I think Pauline is lazy. Notice here that I say I think, not saying I know, because the statement doesn't actually say that she is lazy. However, I can use clues in the statement that lead me to believe she is lazy. So, if you can use explicit information from the text to support your inference, you have identified implicit information. I have here sentences. All you have to do is to identify whether it is explicit or implicit. There was no rule in the student handbook against boys wearing skirts. But there was still an understanding amongst the students that the school administration wouldn't accept it. It is implicit. The parent told the child, "Stop or else." Although the parent didn't directly say what the punishment would be, the child understood the meaning that the punishment would be severe. It is implicit. I'm not guessing that my grandfather is racist. I know he is because he said that he was. It is explicit. Now, let us read a news article about COVID-19 by Ana Malindog Uy, and then take note of the important details for you to be able to fill out the table of the facts mentioned in the text. Here is an article on COVID-19 pandemic. Is the Philippines winning its COVID-19 fight? The novel coronavirus, COVID-19, which triggered a global pandemic at a confounding pace, has affected the whole world. Following the emergence of the novel coronavirus and its spread outside China, countries like the Philippines are experiencing the deadly virus, life-threatening and chilling socio-economic impact. From the first 3 imported COVID-19 cases in January, the infection rate in the Philippines has grown rapidly because of localized transmissions totaling 15,588 cases with 11,069 active cases as of 28 May 2020. There have been 921 deaths and 3,598 recoveries so far. Among all ASEAN member states, the Philippines occupies 3rd spot in terms of the highest number of COVID-19 cases. In the world, out of 215 countries affected by the pandemic, the Philippines is placed 43rd as of May 2020, according to Worldmeter, a reference website that provides counters and real-time statistics on diverse topics. In response to the outbreak, the government of the Philippines launched a multi-sectorial response to the COVID-19 pandemic through its Interagency Task Force on Emerging Infectious Diseases chaired by the Department of Health. For almost 3 months now, the Philippine government has adopted a suppression strategy through the use of non-pharmaceutical health measures such as social distancing, wearing of face masks, quarantines, and others to control the spread of the virus in the country. These measures are embodied in the Philippine government's National Action Plan against COVID-19 Strategic Framework, which includes strategies such as Task Force T3 or the Test, Trace, and Treat, and PDITRA or Prevention, Detection, Isolation, Reintegration, and Adapting the New Normal program. The NAP is a nationally enabled local government unit, LGU-led, people-centered, whole-nation strategy to fight the COVID-19 virus. The ultimate aspiration of NAP is to prevent the spread of the disease and to limit its negative impact on the community, the economy, and the security of the country. After almost 3 months under different types of lockdowns, Filipinos are asking if indeed the Philippines is winning the war against the novel coronavirus. In an attempt to provide some answers to this question, it is of the essence to take a glimpse at how the Philippines is faring and coping with the following considerations, which are said to be the most critical factors in winning the battle against COVID-19. A. Testing and testing capacity. B. The reduction of new cases. C. Contact tracing. D. Treatments. E. Securing a vaccine for the people. And F. Securing, enhancing, and augmenting of the health care facilities and resources of the country. These factors are the game changers in the nation's crusade against the novel coronavirus. Success in these considerations will assist in the smooth transition towards the new normal and will serve as a conduit to the opening of the country's economy. Let's take a look at the issue. The issue is the novel coronavirus or COVID-19 outbreak. Is the Philippines winning its COVID-19 fight? What is the speaker's stand? Based on the explicit statement made, we can say that the author is hopeful that we can win this war if we have cooperation, commitment, and discipline in respecting and following the precautionary measures prescribed by the government. The problem. Following the emergence of the novel coronavirus and its spread outside China, countries like Philippines are experiencing the deadly virus' life-threatening and chilling socio-economic impacts. The problem is explicitly stated in the text. Another problem is the growth of COVID-19 cases is the lack of discipline by others. Proposed solution. In response to the outbreak, the government of the Philippines launched a multi-sectoral response to the COVID-19 pandemic through its IATF on emerging infectious diseases chaired by the Department of Health. The Philippine government has adopted a suppression strategy through the use of non-pharmaceutical health measures such as social distancing, wearing of face masks, quarantines, and others to control the spread of the virus in the country, and the people are expected to follow. Literature, as one of its purposes, makes people learn from the ideas it contains. This is especially appreciated when the literary piece or written text have ideas that are sound and that can be applied in the reader's own life. Thus, literature is seen as especially valuable because it is relevant to the reader. In order to find merit in literature, readers first judge how solid the ideas and how sound the judgment of an author is. In this way, the author can act as the voice of wisdom that teaches a reader without the reader himself or herself having to go through the experience that the author had gone through. Remember, it is important to analyze the stand of an author to know if the stand is biased or it contains important information. Ultimately, to evaluate an informational text, we have to go beyond just identifying central ideas and corresponding evidence. We are about to end. Check your module and do the final activity. Afterwards, proceed to the assessment part. These activities will be done at home at your own pace. And well, that is how we end up our lesson for today. If you have questions, you may go back and scan your module or you may contact your teacher for clarifications. We learn as one, we heal as one. Again, this is Ma'am Lyra for Bamboo Telescuela, bringing education in the comfort of your home. Be safe, everyone!